So in today's video, we're building out the ultimate marketing AI agent that is going to take care of 9 independent tasks for you, spanning from SEO to social media management to cold email and LinkedIn outreach to even creating ad creatives, all condensed into one marketing agent that you can message at any point in time to replace yourself from having to do all of these tasks you're probably doing almost every single day anyways. Now we're going to be building this out. All of these blueprints are going to be 100% for free, but before we do that, let's go ahead and demo this software so that you can see for yourself exactly what this looks like. So I'm going to head over to Telegram. I'm going to send a message here. Hey, can you please generate me a video about the Rusty Steakhouse where a chef will deliver a steak to the clients that clink their glasses? And I also want you to create an Instagram photo for me about the Bean Bliss, which is a new coffee shop opening up. It's a cozy cafe in the background, and I want there to be a latte in the center of the picture in a cup that has grand opening free coffee on Friday at the top of the image. Okay. That's a long prompt, but essentially what's going on here is we're going to first of all transcribe that, turn that from audio into text. We're going to hit the AI agent that's going to decide which tools to use. First of all, it's going to call the create ad video and then create the image. Let's take a look at some examples here.
Experience impeccable flavor and classic charm at the Rusty Oak Steakhouse.
So this is actually using VO3, which is Google's new video generator, and we can also create faceless YouTube videos just like this.
Sound fake but exist. 1. Professional cuddler, paid for therapeutic hugging. 2. Island caretaker, live in paradise maintaining estates. 3. Ethical hacker, break systems legally for security.
Sweet. And we can see there's subtitles, there's somebody speaking, there's video, and all of that kind of stuff. There's even background music that you can put into this. I'll include this down below for free if you guys want to build this out. And of course, we can create images with ChatGPT's new image generation model. Here's a couple examples of what those styles and images may look like. But circling back to the main AI agent, we're almost about to wrap up here. We're just finalizing the image creation over here. Okay, and it looks like it's done. It's hitting the marketing agent. It's going to send us back a message, and let's take a look and see what this looks like. So first of all, it's generated that image for us, which I think is pretty cool. And we got grand opening, free coffee on Friday with the latte in a really cool with a really cool cafe in the background. And then we've also gone ahead and generated this Rusty Steakhouse video. Let's take a look at this.
Experience unforgettable flavor at the Rusty Oak Steakhouse.
Sweet. Now, moving on, what we can do here with this AI agent is, let's say we don't want to just create an image, or maybe it doesn't come out exactly how we want it to be. We can go ahead and we can actually update that existing image. So what I have here is I have a prompt that I'm going to quickly copy and paste into Telegram just to speed up the demoing process here. But essentially, I've sent it off. It's going to execute this workflow. You'll notice that we can accept audio messages, and also text messages. And now the AI agent's doing two things. First of all, we need to actually locate the image that we want to edit. And then once we find that image, then we want to go ahead and edit it. So we can see here that we search for the image in our Google Sheet database here. What we're doing is we're just trying to find the most applicable image here based on the name. We're going to grab that ID. Once we have the ID, we're going to pass it back into this edit image node here, Subflow, which is going to go ahead and edit that existing image that we created. Great, and it looks like it's just wrapping up here. We're gonna send that message back, and let's take a look at this edited image now. So we have the same kind of cappuccino. This time it's actually outside, and we have the text buy one, get one free with a nice little logo at the bottom here. This is all generated by AI. Super cool stuff. Okay, sweet. So let's move on here, and now let's talk about the next stage, which is social media content and blog creation. So let's say maybe we don't wanna spend the hour or two having to always track down good ideas online, but maybe we want to scrape the top 1% of ideas out there on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, so that every time we wake up, we have just an abundance of good ideas. We're not having to spend time tracking them down. Maybe we want to cut the 4 hours that would be required to create a blog post, and we can use AI to automatically generate that. We can also publish our videos or images that we just created over here to social media automatically, and we can of course find backlinking opportunities for our blog posts so that we can rank our website faster. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire off all of these with a message inside Telegram. And what this is essentially saying is, hey, we want to do all four. We want to, first of all, find viral content ideas on Instagram. We want to go ahead and create a funny blog post about plumbing, which kind of sounds like an oxymoron. And then, sorry to all the plumbers out there. And then we also want to create social media content and find backlinking opportunities. So the first thing that has been completed is this sub-agent to essentially post on social media. And so with this agent here, what we can do is we can automatically publish to all of our social media accounts. I just have YouTube set up here, but if we go ahead and refresh here, we can see that we are now uploading this steakhouse video that we just created onto YouTube, which I think is really cool. And we're just gonna wait a couple more seconds for all these other nodes to be completed. And we have the viral content ideas that are automatically generated. So what this is gonna do is it's going to automatically find all of these golden opportunities, publish it into a Google spreadsheet, and then of course notify us when it's been completed. Awesome. And up next, we have the backlinking that's been completed. Essentially, what this is going to do is find backlinking opportunities for us, and it's going to send it back to Telegram. And finally, we just have to wait for the blog post to be generated. And keep in mind too, this backlinking will automatically send emails to people asking for us to write as a guest poster on their blog. What we can do is if we get a guest posting opportunity, we can put a link to our website on theirs, which means that the more links you have referring back to your primary domain, the more Google's gonna be like, yeah, this is a trusted website that we should rank higher in the Google search engine. Awesome. We've gone ahead, we've created the blog post, hit the AI agent, send the message back. Let's take a look at the results here in Telegram. Sweet. So here is the blog post. We've created an image here of like a nice little funny blog post where it's like before and after, where somebody's freaking out, then the plumber is coming in. Obviously the words are not 100% perfect here. And so for that reason, typically I like to avoid words at all costs. And then we have the blog post here. So because nothing says welcome home quite like an unexpected waterfall cascading out of your light fixtures, we're here to celebrate the hilarious words of plumbing fails and the memorable homeowner blunders behind them. Cool. And we can take a look at this exact blog post. You can even upload this immediately to WordPress or wherever your website is potentially hosted. And then of course we've completed the backlinking request sheet over here. So let's take a look at this. We're going to open up the backlinking here, and we've gone ahead, we've found some high quality blog posts that we could potentially write on. And we've gone ahead and we've written email to these people offering suggestions on what we could write for them and just trying to reach out and get the conversation started. And then of course we've created viral plumbing Instagram content ideas, and this has been shared to our Google spreadsheet over here where we have access to all of these in a matter of a couple seconds. Now lastly, I just want to talk about this HeyGen video code outreach system here. Now you could do this for LinkedIn, you could also do this for cold email, but essentially in a nutshell how this works is we're going to automatically reach out to people. So I'm just using myself as an example here, but what we can do is we can automatically connect with somebody, okay? So we could send a connect message and it could be like something like this that's generated by AI. Hey Jono, I came across your profile on LinkedIn and I'm really impressed by how you turned your passion for automation into a thriving community and agency. It's inspiring to see your dedication to helping others optimize their business. I'd love to connect. So it's a personalized message. It's not just something random, but we're actually scraping leads automatically. We're going to enrich those leads on the LinkedIn profiles and then create a nice icebreaker message. Then what we're going to do is follow up, and we're going to have a link to a video where it's going to be a HeyGen video of us walking through their website, and we can even pitch our services in real time. Now, this whole video is going to be automatically generated for you.
Hey Jono, thanks for connecting. I was checking out your site and love how you've built a community that truly empowers entrepreneurs to automate their work and reclaim their time. Really inspiring stuff. Happy to be connected.
Cool. And so those are the 9 workflows. Of course, you can do this on LinkedIn. You can also do it on cold email. We're going to be getting into how you can set this up for yourself. Again, the blueprints are going to be 100% for free if you want to download them, and make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps me out. With that being said, let's dive into this right now. All right, let's dive into this. Now, first thing I want to say is this is going to be super high level, just because if we were building this out from the ground up with these 9 sub agents, it would probably take me like at least 10 hours to do that. So we're just going to be kind of going through through how this works. I'll give you the blueprints and then you can play around with it. But most of this should work outside the box. You just have to integrate in your applications like things like Telegram, for instance, or ChatGPT and all that kind of stuff. Before we get into this, if you guys haven't done so already, I'd highly recommend taking a look at my Skoll community where I give blueprints just like this to you guys to build out. And there's really two main goals here. It's for people to automate up to 80% of the work or their businesses, all that kind of stuff, with the blueprints that allowed me to scale to 7 figures that took me 8 years to learn through the hard way, trial and error, mistakes, all that kind of stuff. And also for those of you looking to build AI automation agencies, I give you the exact roadmap that's worked for me. And if you guys want to learn more about n8n, you can also take a look at my free masterclass here, which kind of goes through all of the things that you're probably going to need to know in order to troubleshoot something like this if you want to tweak or modify it. But in a nutshell, what's going on here is we're receiving Telegram messages. So when a message comes in from Telegram, we're going to receive it in our n8n environment or AI agent here. Now, the first thing that we need to do is determine what kind of message is this? Is this a Telegram, like an audio message, or is this a text message? And so if we go back to Telegram here, let's scroll up. This is an audio message here, and this is a text message here. And the way we process both is going to be differently. So if it's an audio message, we're going to go down the audio path, and we need to first of all download the file, and then we need to transcribe it. So we need to turn that audio into text, just like a text post like this, okay? And then also we have text messages. Those are handled differently. We merge them back together here, okay? So in both instances, we're grabbing the text from the audio file or the text from the text message and then feeding that into our AI agent. Now, at the end of the day, once it's all good and done, we're gonna send a response back through the AI agent, just like what we see here, right? And there's a couple parts to this before we actually get into these main subflows down here, which is that every single AI agent will have a brain. Okay. And a brain, you can think about it like just like a human brain in the sense that like it will process things for us. So first of all, when we send a message to this Telegram bot, it will have to process what tools are we looking to use. So in the last example, we built out, well, we scraped viral content ideas, we created blog posts, we post to social media, all that kind of stuff. This brain will determine what tools need to be used. And also it will formulate the response. Okay. And so when we see these responses coming back, this is generated via the AI agent's brain, okay? And so that's essentially that. We also have a memory up top here. And what this memory does is it allows us to remember past messages. So remember when we generated this coffee image here and then we edited it? Well, we have historical context on the first image because it has a memory that can remember all the past messages sent and all that kind of stuff. So that's the benefit of having a memory here. And then I also threw in this think tool, which is not a requirement, but what this does is when you send a message to an AI agent, usually the think tool is the first thing that it calls. And this will allow the AI agent to slow down, really think through what it's going to do. Just like if you were given an extra 10 minutes to plan, execute tasks, you do a better job. If an AI agent was given a couple seconds, it would do a better job of understanding what needs to be done and make less mistakes. Think more critically about things. Sweet. With the AI agent, we have a prompt here, just kind of telling it exactly what to do, certain instructions, all that kind of stuff. So we generally give it an overview of what it's doing, all the tools that it has at its disposal, and also instructions on how we want things done and user guidelines, okay? Very similarly to how you train an employee, you'd also train an AI agent here by giving it all the tools necessary to set it up for success. Now we have these 9 tools here. Let's dive into these one by one. The first tool is going to essentially generate video content for us. And so with that being said, these are kind of the videos that it generates using VO3.
Experience impeccable flavor and classic charm at the...
Sorry, I just used that as an opportunity to drink more coffee. And then I'll also throw these blueprints in down below as well. And these are going to be in the description of the video for free. So just head down to the blueprint section in the description. And if you want the step-by-step tutorial breaking down how to build those out, I will include that in there for free as well. Okay, sweet. So in a nutshell, what's going on here is we're sending data from the main AI agent. So message comes through, hits the AI agent, it determines to create a video ad. It fires off this workflow here. First thing is we need to generate a prompt in order to send that into into creating these videos. So a lot of the times, if we're just sending a message being like, hey, create me a video on a restaurant, well, it's not descriptive enough. It doesn't give us everything that we need. And so what this scene writer will do is it will take a basic message and it will make it like just 10 times better, so that when it goes to generate the video, it's just much more descriptive. So you can see here, a luxurious, dimly lit dining room is alive with the subtle clinking of cutlery as golden light glows off polished wood tables. Like, I don't know who would ever write that, like glows off polished wood tables. That is way too sophisticated for me to come up with. So yeah, this is great because it gives all those little details that would otherwise be missed. We generate the video. We have to wait 3 minutes here because a lot of the times these videos do take a lot of time to process, and then we collect that video afterwards using Fall. This is essentially the platform that we're using to build this out, so that we can generate VO3 videos. This is just the easiest way that I found online, with like literally the least amount of time to set up. Keep in mind, it is expensive, 75 cents per second, or about $6 every single 8-second video. So this price will be lowered in the future. Obviously, it's incredibly expensive right now. Just wanted to point that out. And then we can go ahead and generate a title for that video. We can add it into our marketing spreadsheet right here. So in our marketing spreadsheet, we can just go ahead and add all these videos in so that we have a record of everything we're generating, and then publish it on social media. So for instance, what we could do is we could publish it straight onto our YouTube channel here. We could unlist it, make it public, all of that kind of stuff. And how we're doing that is through a website called Blotato. I came across this because Sabrina, who's also in the AI automation space, created this, I believe. And yeah, her videos are fantastic as well. I'd highly recommend checking her out. But yeah, you can publish straight onto all of your favorite social media platforms straight through an app like this. Of course, this is paid, but you can do things like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that kind of stuff can be done automatically straight through here. Okay, so moving on here to the next subflow, what we could do is we could automatically create images. And so what's going on here is, again, we're using AI to enrich the image description so that when we send it to create this image, it puts in all those little details that otherwise probably would have been missed, like clinking glasses and like polished wood tables and all this kind of stuff that I would never write in a million and 1 years. It's just not in my DNA. Can't do that. Or I would just forget how to, write in all those small details, or just take a long time. And so we generate the images. And so these images are generated using OpenAI's new image model up here. Again, these are a couple samples that we can create. And this is the documentation here. If you want to go ahead and play around with it, you can just type in like OpenAI image generation model. But really, in a nutshell, this is going to work outside the box. There's nothing you actually need to change. This is kind of complicated and scary. You don't even have to dive into it. The only thing that you need to do here, which is a requirement, would be to go into OpenAI, hit this settings tab here, and just make sure that you have verification enabled here, and you sign up for an account with them. You get an API key, you stick it in here, and then you're good to go. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And so you just need to make sure to pay for that, and that's set up. Just like all of these modules in here, you need to connect in Telegram, Google Sheets, Google Drive, all that kind of stuff. Sweet. So it's going to generate the image, and we just need to convert it, because when this image is generated, it's not in like a PNG or a JPEG format. It's generated in a base 64 format. This node here just converts it from a base 64 file to JPEG, PNG, and then we send that image back via Telegram, like we can see right here. So we're going to receive that message right away. And yeah, we can also add it into Google Drive, so it's saved there. We can add it into our marketing database so that we can access it at any time with these links right here. And so that, in a nutshell, is how we generate these images. And so the next step, and keep in mind, here's a couple other examples of ice cream. Hopefully this is not too tempting for you right now. And I'm sorry if now I'm making you want ice cream. I'm kind of actually wanting ice cream myself now too. Anyways, we better move on before I actually stop this video. So the next thing is we can edit these images. But before we edit the images, we actually need to go and search them up first. And so in a nutshell, what's going on here is we have this tool that searches for images. And what's going on here is this main AI agent, when we send a message to the Telegram, hits the agent, we're going to search for images first. It's going to come here and it's going to be like, we need to find the right image that we want to edit, because right off the bat, you might be asking for a whole bunch of different images to be edited. So you're going to be like, hey, I want you to, for instance, edit the coffee shop image. And what this is going to do is it's going to take the coffee shop image message that you sent, and it's going to search through the titles here to find the closest comparison. And it's going to pull out things like the ID here and then send it back into our main AI agent, okay, so that we can edit it. And in a nutshell, just to kind of go through, it'll search through this Google Sheet using a brain here to be able to find it, and then it will either be found or not found. If it's not found, it'll be like, hey, we can't find the image. If it is found, it will send the image back via picture and all that kind of good stuff, so we can again get an image of this, and then past that we can also be able to send it back to the main AI agent here. So main point is, when it's found, we send it back to the main AI agent. We're like, hey, we found it. Now the main AI agent has the image. It can now go ahead and update it. So it's a two-step process. First it finds it, then it updates it. And so that brings me to the next workflow, which is the edit image workflow. And in this, it's very similar to the other ones, but essentially the main AI agent calls it. Again, we're sending a message here, hits here, searches the image, comes back to the main AI agent, then goes to edit the image, and it will be trigger this workflow, where we will download that image, we'll edit it, we'll convert it from base 64 into a JPEG or PNG or whatever, and then send that image back. And so we can just take a look here. This is that image being sent back right here, which has now been edited. Cool. And yeah, we can also keep a record in the Google Sheet and Google Drive of not only the original image, but also the edited image too. So just to circle back to the ice cream pictures one more time, these unfortunately, we're not done talking about ice cream. We'll have both the file for the original picture, but we'll also have the edit here. So if we take a look at this, we have the image and we have the edited version as well. Cool. And so that's how we can go ahead and edit these images. Sweet. Moving on here, what we can do next is we can find viral content ideas. And in this particular subflow here, what we're doing is we're web scraping data from a place like Appify. So if we head over to Appify, this is a tool where you can get started for free, and you can web scrape about 1,000 results for free, where you can find data on all your favorite websites. So let's say you want to extract or find a lot of data on places like TikTok. You want to find, let's say, 1,000 different posts on TikTok, or 1,000 different posts on Instagram, or 1,000 different posts on LinkedIn or X or Facebook or whatever, and you want to find the best ideas out there. Well, you can use Appify to do that, and automatically it's going to web scrape those platforms. And I'm just using Instagram here, but you could do this for all of these different platforms. And then what we're doing is we're just using this code block to extract all the information out of those particular pieces of content that we found. So we're extracting things like the comment section, the likes, and the type of video, and the niche, and all that kind of stuff, so that we can easily put this into a Google spreadsheet here. Again, anytime we're doing code here, you just got to keep in mind, because most people watching my videos do not know how to code. You do not need to know how to code. All you need to do is ask ChatGPT, hey, can you do this code for me? This is kind of what I want it to do. And it'll take your thought and it'll literally turn it into code. I don't even code in n8n anymore. I just get ChatGPT to do this on my behalf. And then, yeah, this limiter here, you can just delete this. This is just for testing purposes, so that you don't blow like 1,000 or 2,000 web scraped results, which could cost a bit of money, or wipe out all of your free credits on something like Appify. So this is just good for testing purposes, so that you don't like literally just blow all your credits on the first go, and then you have to like pay or whatever, or create a new free account. And so, yeah, this is just, again, testing purposes. Then we have this loop over function here, which essentially will go through the results. So let's say we scrape 10 results from Instagram. We're going to go through this one at a time. First, we're going to scrape through, or go through the first result. We're going to paste it into Google Sheets here. Okay, so if we look at our Google Sheets, we're going row by row. First, then we're going to go to the second, then the third. We're doing these individually one by one. And so the reason why we're doing this first, and then second, and then third, is because when you're dealing with Google Sheets, you can only send a certain amount of information in a given amount of time. That is 300. You can only enter in 300 rows per minute. And so if you enter in like 400 rows per minute, so let's say you did all of this data at the same time, it might be like, whoa, you can't send that much data. You have to slow down. And we're going to stop you from entering data in here. And so that's where this wait step comes in. We're just waiting a second in between every single run so that it slows down and we don't encounter any errors when we're entering data in, large amounts of data in. Once it's done, it will send this back. It'll combine all those rows that we just added in here, send it back to the main AI agent. The main AI agent will send a message to you. You'll receive that message inside Telegram being like, hey, here is the LinkedIn results, or here's the viral ideas that we just scraped. And you can just open this up and get access directly to this Google spreadsheet right here to look at the results. Cool. So that's essentially it, how we can web scrape tons of data. Let's move on to the next sub workflow here, which is essentially creating blog posts. And so with this blog post sub workflow, again, we're going to message the AI agent. It's going to go hit the agent and then figure out we want to do blog posts. It's going to communicate with this sub workflow here, which is going to start. And we're going to, first of all, create a draft for the blog post here where we're getting the outline done. And then we're going to change the writing style. And the reason why this is important is because if you're going to write up a blog post, let's just say average plumbing costs in Toronto, okay? Obviously you want to rank at the top of Google because this is going to get you the most views and then ultimately the most leads. The thing is you need to do lots of different things in terms of search engine optimization to get here. And one of the most important things is you of course want to make sure that your content is engaging, because if it's just generic AI content, it's going to bore people. They're not going to read through it, especially if it's something like dry, like plumbing. Nobody's going to want to read that and enjoy it. So we need to make sure it's more exciting. So we can take a generic blog post like this, and we can turn it into something that was previously dry into something funny. So in this example, we say AI in the workspace, what every office worker should know in 2024. Let's cut to the chase. AI in the workspace used to sound about as real as my gym membership, a nice idea with questionable long-term commitment, but now even my useless uncle's water cooler chat is getting outpaced by generative AI, right? So it makes it way more engaging. That will lead to people staying on the blog post longer, rank higher in Google. We can also optimize it for SEO. This is all the on-page stuff, adding in keywords. Maybe we have headers in there. We optimize all the things in order for it to rank better. Again, this is not like a perfect solution. You'll have to come in, you'll have to change it, update it, all that kind of stuff, but it's a really good draft that will save you hours every single time you want to do this. We can also generate images for the blog post. Again, using the same model that we showed in one of the past subflows, we're just using OpenAI to generate these images, convert it into a JPEG, and then send it back, okay? And so if we look back at our Telegram message, we have our blog post here with the initial image and the blog post here, and then we can read the entire blog post down here with a link, okay? And we could even take it a step further, like you could dump it into a Google Doc here, or if you wanted to, you could upload it straight into WordPress down here. You could create like a URL, which is like this URL up top here. You could be like plumbers, average cost of plumbers, for example. So like average, dash cost of plumbers, let's just say. And you could generate this programmatically. You could turn it into HTML. You could publish it on your WordPress website and so on and so forth. Enter it into your Google Sheet over here so that you have the blog post stored here. And so we're just storing all of our different file types. We have blog posts here, we have videos, we have images, edited images, all of it stored in one file. And so that's kind of the power of this workflow, how we can generate blog posts. Moving on, the next thing that we can do is we can post to all of our social media accounts. And so inside this, when the main AI agent calls this, we're going to generate a title, and then we're going to find the right video or photo that we want to publish on social media. Now, these photos or images are going to be in our Google Sheet here. So in this Google Sheet, we'll have videos or images or whatever. And so we just need to find the particular image or video that we want to generate, that we want to publish on social media. And keep in mind, in this AI agent, we were able to generate videos, we were able to generate images, and so, or edit images. And so once we've gone ahead and done that, then we can publish it on social media. So once we found the right image or video, we're going to make sure, does it exist? If we couldn't find something, it'll just return an error. If we did find it, then what we're going to do is we're going to grab that information, structure it properly with these nodes, and then what we're going to do is upload it straight into Blotato, which will give it access to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that kind of stuff. okay, which will publish it automatically on our behalf. Really cool stuff. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about backlinking over here. And so with the backlinking subflow here, what's going on is we're going to call this sub workflow that will automatically find a ton of results on Google. So take this, for example. We would search for something like Write For Us and then plumbing. And the reason we have these quotations is that we're looking for guest posting opportunities, people that want you to write blog posts on their website, because if you write blog posts for their website, that means it's one less blog post that they actually have to write themselves. So they're just crowdsourcing people to do these posts for them so that they don't have to do the work themselves. It's a win-win. They get free content. You get a guest post on somebody else's website that links back to yours. The more times you have guest posts that link back to your website, the higher you can rank on Google, because Google's like, hey, I trust this person more. And so when you search for these exact terms like Write For Us plumbing, you're going to find other websites that are looking for guest posts. And so what this is automatically doing is it's finding the search, and we're finding this Google page here, and then we're going through all of the results that we're scraping. Number 1, number 2, number 3, we're going through those individually to a page like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to essentially find that person's email on the page, and like this, for example, we'll get this particular email and we'll check, does it exist or does it not exist? If it doesn't, we're going to skip over that result and then go to the next one and loop through. And if the next one exists, then we're going to write email content and send it off to them. We can send it through Gmail. We can send it through something like instantly.ai as well. And so 2 notes here. First of all, we're generating topics that we could write about, because nobody, like if we're sending it to, this website, for example, they don't want to do the brainstorming for us. They want us to do the brainstorming for them. That's why they're giving us this opportunity. So we will do the brainstorming, we'll present it to them, and then we'll email it off automatically. And then they can choose what they want us to write about, and we can start the process from there. And so again, we can do this on Gmail. I'd highly recommend doing it on a cold email platform like Instantly, just because when you're dealing with cold email, especially at volume, you do not want to do this on your main Gmail account, because you'll hit, like if you send enough emails, your email might get burned by a lot of people reporting you or blocking you or whatever the case might be. And that's just the case when you're sending off a ton of emails. And so it's better just to do this on a dedicated cold email platform like Instantly, so that you get the best results possible. Okay, sweet. And then lastly, what we're going to talk about here is generating these HeyGen videos. And I have a completely separate video going over how to do this properly. But in a nutshell, we have this workflow here. Now, what's going on here is that we're going to search for leads on a platform called Apollo. Okay. And I have a whole video breaking down exactly how to do this, but in a nutshell, Apollo is a third party. It's like a website that provides lead generation for you. So you can find CEOs on here. You can find like the directors of HR or marketing or whatever. You can find your ideal profile that you want to reach out to. And then what we're going to do is, once we scrape a ton of these people from Apollo, and we scrape them through a platform called Appify, which we've gone over a couple times in this video already. The next thing that we want to do is we want to automatically enrich data on these people. So we want to find more information about them so that we can create customized cold email and LinkedIn messages. So if you take this, for example, I'm sending off a message to Jono, and you can see that it's hyper personalized to me. I'm really impressed by how you turned your passion for automation into a thriving community and agency, right? Very specific to me based on my LinkedIn profile here. So it scraped all this data, and then it made these responses back to me, okay? And so in a nutshell, we're scraping the person's profile. So we might scrape like 100 different people from Apollo. We will enrich all 100 profiles on LinkedIn. We'll filter out anyone that doesn't have an email or a LinkedIn by these 2 filters here. Then we'll generate like follow-up messages, connect messages. So again, we'll generate using AI these connect messages, these follow-up messages, and also these video scripts as well. like what I'm saying here. So let me just back up.
Thanks for connecting. I was checking out your site and love how you've built a community that truly empowers entrepreneurs to automate their work.
Sweet. So that script, again, is going to be generated using AI. And then what we're going to do is we're going to generate this HeyGen video. Now, with this video, there's 3 components to it. First, we need to generate the video using HeyGen. Then we need to generate the video using Appify. And then we need to merge both of these videos together. And so with the sub workflow, we're using something called HeyGen to automatically create an avatar of ourselves. You can get started for free using this. You just head over to HeyGen, create your own avatar down here, and you can get this up in a few minutes. Okay. Then next, what we're doing is we're using Appify one more time to automatically get that screen recording. So if you do like screenshot here, we have a couple different actors that will literally go through, scroll through a page just like I'm doing right now, record it, and then we can use that as a video. And then lastly, we're using Cradlemat to stitch both of these videos together into one video that has both of them on here. Sweet. And so from there, what we're doing is we're just dumping all of this data into a Google spreadsheet. So this is kind of what this Google spreadsheet looks like. We have the person's name, last name, title, organization, website. We have their LinkedIn profile and the messages that the AI generated. These messages are just right here with the video link as well. And then finally, once we have it in a Google spreadsheet, we're using something called Phantom Buster up top here. And so what Phantom Buster does is we can connect into our LinkedIn profile and we can automatically connect with people and send follow-up messages. And so how this works is it will literally take these rows here. It'll take these results and then it'll go through line by line, grab this out, and then automatically reach out to these people on our behalf. So as soon as it gets into this Google spreadsheet, it will pull the rows, it will connect with these people. If they accept or connect, then it will follow up with messages, including this video right here. And so that's essentially it in a nutshell in this video. That is the 9 things that we can do with this AI agent. Of course, you could take this, this LinkedIn outreach system and you could apply it to cold email as well. And so that's a lot of the marketing tasks that you may be doing every single day that you could fully automate. I hope you guys found value in this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button down below. Take a look at my school community over here, which is designed for people just like yourself who are interested in blueprints like this, want to automate most of the work they're currently doing by hand, or for people that are looking to create automation agencies and sell their services to people looking for these kind of systems in general. So thanks guys so much for watching. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.